Something confusing happens. You send a message, no reply. Someone who was warm yesterday suddenly feels distant. A decision at work makes no sense and no one explains why. And your first thought isn't, maybe this is random, or maybe this is complicated. It's something else. Did I do something wrong? Is someone doing this on purpose? Is there something I'm not being told? Not randomness, not uncertainty. Someone. Now scale that instinct up. Because the brain doesn't have a separate circuit for world events, it uses the same social hardware to process a global crisis as it does to process a quiet room. A public decision feels inconsistent. A major event doesn't quite add up. The same mechanism activates, but this time the summon becomes larger, less visible. A group, a system, a hidden actor. That instinct feels natural, almost automatic, and that's the problem. Because the same mechanism that helps you understand people may also be quietly writing conspiracy theories inside your head. Your brain is not designed to tolerate uncertainty for long. When something doesn't make sense, it tries to complete the story. Not slowly, not carefully, but immediately. You don't experience this as guessing. You experience it as understanding. A vague event becomes a clear narrative, and once a narrative exists, it's very hard to let it go. One of the most powerful abilities your brain has is understanding other people. Scientists call this hyperactive agency detection. Think of our ancestors. It was better to mistake a rustle in the grass for a predator than to mistake a predator for the wind. Those who guessed someone is there and ran survived. We are the descendants of that bias. We would rather assume intention than accept randomness. Because in the wild, missing a real threat is costly, but imagining one is relatively safe. It worked for thousands of years, it still runs today, whether you need it or not. It's why you get frustrated with a slow computer, feeling like it's deliberately trying to mess with you. Once your brain suspects that someone did this, it doesn't stop there. It starts building a story. Imagine scrolling through half-remembered headlines or overheard fragments. Individually, they mean nothing, but your brain doesn't see isolated pieces. It sees a shape emerging. This is apophenia, the tendency to perceive meaningful patterns in randomness. It's like ancient astronomers looking at a random scatter of stars and seeing a hunter or a bear. We aren't singing the stars. We are singing our own need for a map. This process is powered by the default mode network, the system active when your mind turns inward. It is your brain's story engine. It doesn't look for truth. It looks for coherence. Now combine the two systems. 1. You detect intention. This wasn't random. 2. You see patterns and build a story. Here's what probably happened. 3. The click. The pattern feels overwhelming. 4. The reward. The loop closes. This must be the truth. In that moment, your brain releases a small hit of dopamine. It's the reward for solving the puzzle. The feeling of aha is so addictive that we rarely stop to ask if the solution was actually correct. The story no longer feels like a theory. It feels like a realization. This is why conspiracy theories are so hard to change. They aren't just ideas you heard. They are stories your brain authored. Your brain is designed to protect its own models. Information that fits the story is accepted. Information that doesn't feels suspicious. If we offer a fact that contradicts the story, the brain doesn't see it as truth. It sees it as more evidence of the cover-up. This is the genius and the tragedy of the system. It treats its own defense as proof proof of its brilliance. When these systems work together, you don't just receive explanations, you generate them automatically, continuously, convincingly. This is why conspiracy theories don't feel like fiction, they feel like discovery. So the question is no longer, why do people believe conspiracy theories? A better question is, why is the human brain so good at creating them? Because once you see it, you realize something uncomfortable. You have felt this loop close inside you. That moment when scattered pieces suddenly click and everything makes sense. Maybe you're right, maybe you weren't, but the feeling, the absolute certainty, was identical either way. The brain that helps you understand the world is the same one that can quietly rewrite it. You're not just interpreting a reality, sometimes you are authoring it, and the most convincing character you've ever written is yourself. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.